Welcome to tonight's bedtime story on Rain and Story. Tonight we'll dive into the enchanting tale of Lucy and a mysterious watch that turns back time. As we explore the twists and turns of her journey, Lucy learns the profound value of living in the moment. Before we begin, remember to subscribe to Rain and Story for more magical stories that sail you into dreamland. Now, let's settle in as the adventure unfolds. Once upon a time, in a quiet corner of a sunlit room, Lucy was rummaging through her grandmother's old chest. It was a magical afternoon where the sun cast golden beams that danced on the dusty old treasures. Among the myriad of forgotten items, Lucy's hand brushed against something cold and metallic. It was a watch, not just any watch, but an ornate one with an intricate design and a mysterious glow emanating from its face. Lucy wiped the dust off with the sleeve of her sweater, intrigued by the watch's unusual appearance. The hands of the watch moved backward, which puzzled her. "A watch that ticks the wrong way?" she thought aloud. Curiosity piqued. She carefully placed the watch around her wrist, feeling a slight tingle as the cool metal touched her skin. The room seemed to hum with a strange energy as Lucy inspected the watch. On a whim, she twisted the crown of the watch, and a soft click echoed through the air. Suddenly the room blurred, colors melded, and sounds twisted into silence. When the world snapped back into focus, Lucy found herself standing in the very same room. But something was different. The sun cast a different shadow, and the air felt like a day she remembered fondly, a day from the past. Lucy stepped outside, her heart pounding with excitement and disbelief. She was indeed back to yesterday, a day she had spent laughing and playing in the garden with her friends. They were there, just as before, calling for her to join in their game. Lucy spent the afternoon reliving the joyous moments, feeling a surge of happiness as she corrected a small argument that had happened the day before. It was like magic. She could change things, make them better. As the sun began to set, Lucy twisted the watch again, eager to see the results of her changes. The world blurred and refocused, and she was back in her present. Everything seemed just as she left it, yet there was an odd sense of anticipation in her heart, a curiosity about what the consequences of her actions might be. The next morning, Lucy woke up with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. The memory of yesterday's adventure with the mysterious watch was vivid in her mind. She hurried to the chest, grabbed the watch, and strapped it on. Just like the day before, she twisted the crown, eager to relive another joyful day from her past. This time, she found herself at her best friend Emma's birthday party, a day full of games, laughter, and a little mishap with the birthday cake. Lucy remembered that Emma's favorite toy had accidentally been broken during the festivities, leaving her friend upset amidst the celebrations. With the knowledge of what was to come, Lucy steered the events differently. She carefully redirected the playful chaos away from the fragile gift, successfully preventing the accident. The joy on Emma's face when the party ended without the unfortunate incident was priceless. Lucy returned to the present, feeling triumphant. It seemed she had the power to erase even the smallest of sorrows from her and her friends' lives. That evening, as Lucy lay in bed, she pondered the possibilities. Could she keep fixing things? What else could she change? However, as she drifted off to sleep, her thoughts began to shift. The thrill of altering her past was tinged with a growing unease. She wondered, what were the consequences of these changes? The watch had no instructions, no warnings of what might come. Lucy's last thoughts before sleep were filled with both. As the days slipped by, Lucy's fascination with the watch grew, and so did her list of changes. Each day, she would choose a moment from her past to alter, hoping to create a perfect string of happy memories. She fixed misunderstandings, avoided arguments, and even aced tests she had previously failed by remembering the correct answers. But as Lucy continued to adjust her past, subtle shifts began to appear in her present. Friends she used to be close with seemed slightly more distant. Conversations didn't flow as naturally as they once had, and some happy accidents that had led to unexpected friendships never occurred. One particular afternoon, Lucy returned to a school field trip day when she had lost a treasured necklace given to her by her grandmother. She had been heartbroken, and the thought of preventing that loss was irresistible. Lucy maneuvered through her past with ease, guarded the necklace with care, and returned to her present eager to see it around her neck again. However, when she looked in the mirror, the necklace was not there. Confused, Lucy searched her room, thinking she might have placed it somewhere else. It was nowhere to be found. That was when she realized that not only was the necklace gone, but also the memory of her grandmother gifting it to her seemed faded, as if tampering with that day had eroded a part of that cherished memory. The realization struck Lucy hard. The watch's magic wasn't simply altering specific events. It was changing the very fabric of her relationships and memories. She sat on her bed, the watch in her hand, and for the first time, she felt a pang of regret. The joy of changing her past was overshadowed by the unintended consequences that were slowly emerging in her present life. Lucy's initial delight in the watch's powers had dimmed, replaced by a growing sense of responsibility and unease. She began to question not just the changes she made, but the very act of changing anything at all. The thrill of fixing mistakes had waned, revealing the intricate web of outcomes that each alteration wove into her life. One evening, Lucy sat at her desk, the watch lying cold and silent before her. She thought of all the moments she had changed, pondering over each outcome. Her room, filled with objects and pictures, seemed slightly off, as if each item had a story she no longer fully recognized. It was a room shaped by her interventions, a life curated by countless revisions. Determined to understand the full impact of her actions, Lucy decided to revisit a day she always wished had gone differently, the day she had a big argument with her brother, Tom. It had started over something trivial, a misplaced book, but had escalated, leaving harsh words hanging between them for days. Lucy grabbed the watch and, with a hesitant twist, returned to that fateful morning. This time, she kept her temper in check. The argument was swiftly avoided with a calm conversation, and the day passed peacefully. Satisfied, Lucy returned to her present, hopeful she had mended yet another rift. But the present Lucy came back to felt even more altered. Her relationship with Tom, although free from that particular argument, lacked the depth it once had. In avoiding their fight, they had missed a crucial heart-to-heart that had followed, a conversation that had deepened their understanding of each other. Lucy realized that their argument had been a painful but necessary part of their relationship. This revelation was a turning point for Lucy. She saw now how each moment, good or bad, was a thread in the fabric of her life, contributing to who she was. The complexities of her relationships, the depth of her experiences, couldn't be engineered without losing their authenticity. Sitting alone in her slightly unfamiliar room, Lucy felt the weight of every change she had made. The watch, once a symbol of possibility, now seemed more a burden of choices. As the sun set, casting long shadows across her floor, Lucy knew what she had to do. It was time to accept her life as it was, imperfections and all. With a newfound resolve, Lucy approached the next morning differently. She sat by her window, the watch in her hand, watching the early light play across the sky. Today she wouldn't travel back. She would move forward. Today, she needed to restore her timeline, to reclaim the life she had unknowingly unraveled. Lucy carefully picked up the watch, its surface cool and unassuming, yet brimming with too much power. She thought about all the moments she had changed, the laughter and tears, the successes and failures. Each memory flickered in her mind, a mosaic of altered lives. She realized that the beauty of life wasn't in its perfection, but in its chaos, in the unpredictable events that taught resilience and strength. Taking a deep breath, Lucy twisted the watch one last time. But instead of choosing a specific moment to revisit, she closed her eyes and let her heart guide her through a whirlwind of days, both joyful and challenging. She felt the watch's energy pulse, not with a desire to change, but to restore. When the world settled, Lucy opened her eyes. The morning light felt warmer, the room more familiar. She looked around, noticing the small imperfections, the slightly crooked photos, the stack of books with dog-eared pages, each telling a story of a moment lived fully and authentically. Lucy checked her memories, touching them mentally like one would test the solidity of objects in a dream. The argument with Tom, the lost necklace, the broken toy at Emma's party, each was back. Each had happened as it originally had, complete with the lessons they brought. Feeling a mixture of relief and melancholy, Lucy knew she had done the right thing. She had learned that some things are meant to be experienced just as they are, not because they are perfect, but because they are crucial to our growth. With a firm decision, Lucy took off the watch and placed it back into her grandmother's old chest. She closed the lid gently, sealing away the power to alter time. As she did, she felt not the weight of loss, but the lightness of being free. From that day on, Lucy embraced each moment, not with the desire to change it, but to live it fully. She understood now more than ever that every second was a gift, not to be altered but to be cherished, and that true wisdom lay in appreciating the present and looking forward to the future with hope and courage. As the stars began to twinkle outside her window, signaling the end of another day lived authentically, Lucy felt at peace. In her heart, she carried the lessons of the watch, a reminder of the incredible journey of self-discovery and the unchanging value of the present moment.